To install a PV solar system correctly, one must follow the general instruction manual to come with the equipment. You see, it's not right for a salesman to say that the system is guaranteed for so many years. If you read the manual, your warranty is only valid if it's installed according to this installation instructions. This is what has to be followed. Now on this video upcoming, we're going to take a Unirack rail system, SolarWorld modules. We're going to be using Burnday. We're going to be using Lesco. We're going to be using different manufacturers. And each one has a required torque specification, which has to be followed to maintain the warranty. This is Sanyo's instruction manual. And if you look at item G, it says damage due to lack of compliance with the Sanyo installation, use, and maintenance instructions. The limited warranty is no good. In other words, these systems have to be maintained and inspected, and they have to be installed according to their specifications. Now here is SolarWorld's guide. SolarWorld, an excellent company since 1977. Oh, they'll tell you, you don't stand on the modules. Good grief. Then they'll talk about the corners being blocked from precipitation and that. You got to check them. These are the do's and don'ts that they require. So you got to look over the instructions as you start to install this. Maintenance and cleaning. We recommend that the system be inspected at regular intervals to ensure, 1, all mounting points are tight and secure and free of corrosion. 2, all cable connections are secure, tight, clean, and free of corrosion. 3, cables are not damaged in any way. 4, conductivity of the module frame to earth ground. This page goes on to talk about the wiring, and a torque wrench must be used for assembly and how many inch-pounds or foot-pounds is required. If you look right below maintenance and cleaning, see where it says disclaimer of liability? It says, since compliance with this guide and the conditions and methods of installation, operation, use, and maintenance of the modules are not checked or monitored by SolarWorld, SolarWorld accepts no liability for damage arising through improper use or incorrect installation, operation, use, or maintenance. So as a salesperson or an installer, when you tell that customer that they have a warranty or this system is warranted and guaranteed and all that, you want to say, and that's because we installed it according to the equipment manufacturer's installation requirements. In the National Electric Code in section 110.3b, listed or labeled equipment shall be installed and used in accordance with any instructions included in the listing or labeling. This has been in the code book since Fido was a pup. And you should hear a click in a breakaway release. There, hear that click? He reached the 20 inch-pounds. That's what required according to the manufacturer and the National Electric Code. And what we're trying to demo here with torque tools is, in this solar system, once you put the legs into the rafter, when you start those standoffs with the L feet, and you go through the Unirack rail system, and you go through the grounding, the Burnday lugs, the lay-in lugs, the split bolt connectors, when you get clear over to the inverter, the panel board, the breakers, everything the manufacturer has a required torque specification.
I'm going to demonstrate what we're going to do as far as following the manufacturer's recommended torque rating for the terminals, and we are following 110.3b, which indicates that all equipment should be installed as listed and according to the manufacturer. So it says here that we're supposed to torque any and all AC and DC wires inside the Sunny Boy to 15 inch-pounds or 1.7 Nm.
Now it'll click when we reach 15 inch-pounds.
torque 20 inch-pounds.
One thing we want to be sure to cover is the maintenance down the road and the cleaning. One thing that we teach at Code Electrical is the importance of having space in order to come back and service and maintain, and also for the cleaning. I can tell you on several times during this installation that we've seen birds come up and sit on the top of the roof, and they've left bird droppings all over the roof, and it was a lot of it was there. And so I can tell you that you're going to get the same problem on your solar system. So it's very important that if the customer is going to pay this much money for a solar system, it's very important that they want to have as much energy harvest as possible. Bird droppings and other things, including some dust. These panels have been sitting before we had a chance to put them in. They've already got a layer of dust on them, so we're going to get these cleaned off before the system is completely fired up. So it's very important that if the customer is going to put out a lot of money for a system, they need to have it working 100%. And that's why it's important to maintain space, to maintain clearance, and also for the portion of being able to come back and do inspections, and also any sort of troubleshooting and service that needs to be done. To be put in by the Florida Building Code, the Roofer Manual, and also the International Building Code. These things are required to be put in. So be sure that when you bid your jobs that you let your customers know that you put in all of these items according to the manufacturer specifications, and also to all the local, state, and international building codes. We notice that some solar companies are not catching up to this and doing this right now. They may be able to bid their jobs a little less, but sooner or later it's going to catch up. So we need to be sure that we're doing this properly and making sure that the customer gets a very, very good installation.
I have learned and observed over my 53 years in the electrical trade that poor connections, whether too tight or too loose, have resulted in arcing, which has caused fires and death. With my experiences, I have built the reputation of Code Electrical classes on doing it correctly to the manufacturer's listing. Our Learn to be an Electrician training program, which today has over 1,400 enrolled, teaches torquing. Our building was filmed and used in the training, showing the correct way to torque an electrical connection. That's why it's called Learn to be an Electrician, and not Learn to be an Electrical Worker or Integrator. The difference is education, and learn to do it correctly. Our main building has a 7.5 kW in-phase AC system. You see, in Florida, we still have blooming plants even in the wintertime. The solar center has a 1.84 kW DC system, which is the same system you'll install on the mock roof used for hands-on training. The solar center classroom with PowerPoint presentations will teach with the philosophy. If you're going to teach, be the best and teach it correctly, following the manufacturer's installation instructions. The main classroom will be used on the last day of class for a summary in the morning and a 60-question PV exam in the afternoon, and we'll go over the answers in detail in length. If you are interested in becoming a solar PV contractor, I invite you to attend our hands-on class at our solar center so you can pass this valuable knowledge on to your community on how to install a solar system correctly and improve the integrity of the electrical industry. The customer deserves from our industry to know the system was installed properly and the warranty is good. The time to turn this around is now. Yes, this class has been approved for continuing education credits.